All right, so yesterday my phone camera quit because battery died, and I managed to tip over another tree. So today's task is to get that cut up and get what I can chipped and put up in a barn, as the chip I dumped up there has already disappeared. So having that tree down there will greatly improve, if I put some stone on this roadway eventually, greatly improve the access into this set of fields, this corner of the property. And that will be great. So I'm gonna set about, well, the skid steer is warming up. I'm gonna go set about bucking up this tree and getting it so I can start using the excavator to move it and get the logs stacked up here for firewood later on, and get the branches processed for chipping. Got that tree moved, started a brush pile. I'm gonna have to go in there now and stack it, stack it and get it ready for chipping, cut it apart, do what I need to do there. I've got a few limbs to pick up here and there. I've got some stuff that was already here that I'll chip that's down if I can get it out easily. Big problem is where I pulled that stump up when the tree tipped over. That's just a swamp of mud. It sits up over the edge of my top of my boot, so I've got to skirt around the worst of that area. It's wet in this field, it always is, but I'm hoping that, part of the problem is they're on this bottom of the slope. Now, I was originally going to try and put a French drain in along here, but that would involve removing a significant number of these upslope trees to get a clear enough line free of roots. Maybe I could get away with only moving about 6 trees, but there's an awful lot of stone. It's easy digging, and I would have the stone to fill back in for a French drain. I don't know if that's practical. Certainly I put a French drain in over there, and that helped dry up that lower field below the pond. Did a beautiful job. I just don't know. I guess I could do it later. I'm going to put the fence line. So I had originally thought about coming in past, uphill of this tree and putting in the fence line just to try and carve out some more area, because I didn't want all of this to be a no man's land where we're fenced out. But I could still do my fencing where I want to, on the other side of this tree out here. So just basically a straight line past this tree and then pretty much straight down through there. I'll have to pick a corner. I can see a couple trees that need to come out, just to be able to make a nice straight line through there, and there's a bunch of stone that'll have to be moved. But then if I do it down slope here, I can come in later on uphill of the fence. I can go ahead and get an excavator in here somehow and work on a drain line if it's necessary. It may not be such a bad thing for this field to be a little wetter, because that means in a drought year, in the shade of the forest, in this silva pasture I'm trying to reclaim, I will have the opportunity to graze longer in a damper circumstance. So that's a positive there. Now, I'm also trying to clean up. There's a lot of broken pallets here from back when I had the pigs in here. It got really wet here one year, and so to try and offer the pigs some sort of comfort, I put lots of pallets down and put plywood over the pallets and put their huts up on the pallets, so they weren't trying to sleep in the mud. Because like I say, during the winter, this does tend to get wetter because it's downslope. Now, this is a good soil profile, but it is just loaded with glacial esker. All these stones spilled out of here. I don't know if that's a fact that when they de-stoned the big field in the 1800s and built this stone wall, they also just started spilling stones out over. Now, I don't know if subsequent work here, now I'm assuming this had been a pasture because none of these trees are more than 50 years old. So I'm assuming this was clear cut and that maybe these stones were spilled out by, maybe there was stone walls here that they got leveled by skidders or something and forestry work. I don't know. It's just a mess of stones. The cows graze this, but it's not very productive. I think it could be a lot more productive than it is. I just have to see whether it's practical, certainly with this diesel, the cost of it is, whether it's practical to start scraping up some of these stones to try and clear them out of the way and get some better grazing in here. Because this soil is actually really good. It's perfect pH as well. It's got a great mineral profile. It really could be some decent soil to grow stuff in. It's just all the stones. Now I got some obvious trees that need to come out. Some standing dead stuff. Some things I can harvest for firewood to clear this out. This thing here. I don't know why these are necessarily dead. I think a lot of these have been this way for a long time. Certainly having the pigs in here probably didn't help given the shallow, because of the stone. That may have contributed to some of the dieback here, but also a lot of the stuff is balsam, which is short-lived. Birch, which I just dropped, the birch is short-lived. Certainly the longer-lived species, the maple, the yellow birch, I guess it's just maple and yellow birch in here. There's a couple hemlocks over there, a couple pines. They are doing better. Now, there had been a couple apples in here, but they've long since died. So yeah, I want to get this dead stuff knocked down. I took out an ash, which wasn't going to be doing that great a long time ago. I need to clear that up. Yeah, get the dead stuff knocked down. See what I can do in here. I'm going to end up generating some burn stuff here. I mean, I got a pile going here, and there's more pallets and junk there. And a lot of firewood that I need to... I need that area. See, the way in here is always wet. And I can come down below the pond, but that also gets quite mucky. So I got to find if I can get enough stone pulled together, maybe I can get that area stoned in so I can drive over it with the skid steer. Then I can start pulling out firewood, start really making some progress here. Key today though is chipping. I've got to get more wood chips up in the barn. It will help soak up and that area that's so mucky. All right, another bucket of chips. Gonna haul that up, get it ready to dump in the barn. But I'm gonna have lunch, and then it is just a little after 3. So by the time I have lunch and dump this in and spread it, it'll be time for milking at our new 4 o'clock milking time. And I didn't get down here till afternoon, so yeah, I mean, get that tree cleared up and get it chipped mostly was doing pretty good. I really need to get in here and get after this stuff. I've got another, half hour of chipping left to do, but it won't yield that much, so I got to gather up some more stuff, get it brought out here to chip, figure out what to do with this mud hole. Now, probably aren't going to work on it. Let's see, today's Wednesday. Probably not going to get a chance to work on anything tomorrow because it's supposed to be pouring rain. And I promised to do something tomorrow. Anyway, onwards. It's Thursday, the 26th of March, a cracking day. It is mild. I mean, it could be I think the high is supposed to be in the 50s, but I think it's mid 40s right now. Slight breeze, warm, and not raining. It poured last night. Very wet indeed. In fact, this area is almost, now that I'm looking at it, almost unworkable. Unworkable as it stands. I think what I might try to do is make a corduroy or a skid road. Here, I'll take some of the trees that I'm going to pull down like that birch, and I'll lay them across here, washboardy, to help shore up this mud. Because otherwise, I'm not going to get back and forth through here for weeks, and I can't afford that time. I need to. The reason I'm down here today, right now, is because I need to press on. I need to be able to get the skid steer across that muck, so I can get in here if it's firm enough and pick up rocks and get the grapple and move logs. Although I use the excavator to do some. I'm going to take down dead trees today. It's Thursday, so there's a high probability once Allison leaves to go on deliveries that I may have to break off many to serve customers. If that happens, then I'll abandon this project, and I may only work here for an hour or so because I have things to do up there, and I've got plenty to do. So if there's a lot of customers, I'll go back up there. And Thursday can be a busy day here. I'll go do the projects closer to the cheese hut and leave this. But I want to get what I can done now and just keep working at this, because it really, if I don't, I gotta think about how to approach this. If I don't get this done, if I don't improve, I hopefully improve this area. I mean, I already have. This area is a lot more open and a lot more clear, but there's a lot of stumps that I left behind because we were cutting the brush, cutting these alders and shrubs down with a chainsaw over winter to chip. If I don't get this done and pull those, then the cows aren't going to have an easy time grazing in here. They could hurt themselves. Won't be as well now that I've opened it up a bit, and hopefully continue to. There'll be a little bit more forage production here because the grass in here had been growing quite nicely. It's not a really super nutritious grass, but it's a better grass than not, and I need it to produce a lot more. I need to get it worked over here. I'll probably plant some oats and peas. Overseed this, wherever, because that'll get up and go. That'll start growing really fast. I may also throw, depending on what I have and whether I get an order placed, I may also throw some turnips or radish in there to grow some fast-growing, leafy, highly nutritious stuff. And then I'll undersow this meadow fescue and the tall fescue. That should just thrive in here. Once the oats and peas grow and are grazed off, then that other stuff will come up, and of course I'll add clover to the mix. That'll just really give this place a boost, but I need to knock back the level of stones. And I'm not sure how easy that's going to be because they're everywhere. A stone picker would be great. But I honestly don't know if you could get it through here because of the trees. You'd just have to take out too many trees. So, all right, I'm just going to get going, see what I can do. Okay, well, I sort of left a trail of destruction. I didn't get too far in here. I guess I started just up there by that clump, by that tree right there, and made my way here. But I managed to knock down some standing dead trees, took out this live one that was dying in the way of the fence line, and I pulled up a bunch of these alders and moved some big boulders out of my way to get us this far. Now I'll go get the chainsaw. I'll cut up the tree that I just dropped, and then there was a dead top blew down out of well, it had been a fairly decent maple pole, and I've got a couple of dead ones to knock down over there, and then this dead one right here in front of me needs to come down as soon as I get rid of some of this firewood and chipping material. Now the problem is I'm in here far enough and it's wet enough that I'm not going to get the tractor and the chipper in here. I'm going to have to yard everything out, which I'm not pleased with. Certainly the deeper I get in here, now there, if I can get this tractor, I might be able to back in here. So I'm going to stage the material over there on the opposite, just up opposite the excavator, because then I think there's quite a bit of stone there, hard standing. I can get in, if I can get the tractor down the hill past what's there, then I can get in. I can back in there. I can get chipped, but it's anybody's guess whether I can get the skid steer in and out easily. The trouble is, yeah, I can stack it right there by the excavator bucket. Yeah, I mean the skid steer coming in and out with buckets of chips and to fill. It's anybody's guess whether I'll be able to do this week or even next week, because it's been so wet. I mean, I don't know. I forgot to check the rain gauge. I guess we got to get back in the habit of checking the rain gauge. Our electronic weather station's gone. It's fried. I don't know what happened to it. But I want to... I took out this stump and flipped it over and buried it. That's probably what I'll do with that stump there. Just dig a hole, flip it, bury it. I put some stumps back up here on the upper hill side of the fence, and I also relocated some boulders on the uphill side where the fence will be up above. There's a lot of work here. I've been chomping at the bit to do this for years, and each year I kind of make that much more progress. And last fall we did quite a bit with opening this up and clearing it out and opening the brush. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get the majority of the stones out of here, but if I can get the bad ones out, the big ones, and collect them in piles and just work at it each year, work at it. The trouble is I really need this to be a productive field, because that field down there is very wet, and it's I haven't been able to shift without tearing everything out or finding some way of working it, because I haven't even been able to get a piece, well, other than the excavator, I haven't had a piece of equipment in there for a very long time, because it's just usually too wet. Even in a drought, it can be pretty wet. But I need to change the balance of the type of grass that's down there. It's I don't even know what it is. It's a brome, I think, that handles wet soil well. And it's just not very palatable or nutritious. So while the grasses that are edible are there and growing up amongst it, about 75% of that acre down there or more isn't really productive enough. And while this 2 acres will produce a couple good grazings and maybe a mediocre one, I needed to produce four or five good grazings. And I know opening it up, taking out these dead trees will certainly ease my mind. I'm always nervous about letting the cows in here, and if it's any kind of windy day, I don't put them in here. All right, gotta find my chainsaw and set too, because I'm running out of steam. It's getting on towards 1 o'clock now, I think. As I'm working out here, I'm realizing my strategy may be naive. I had thought that I could scrape together the rocks and bury them or pile them up or something. A, there's too many rocks. B, there's rocks upon rocks upon rocks. And C, I don't have a lot of time. I'm there. I started there. I have made this mess. I do have a pile of firewood, something that will make timber, and I've got some stuff to chip. If I can get I think I can come in here, make a brush pile to chip there, and I can back the chipper in here, and I can get it positioned here, and be able to shoot the chip out there where I can come in and go with the skid steer. Now, it needs to be a little bit drier to do that. I need to get the excavator looped back around here and clear up some of these big stones. Big stones. That one's got a nice streak of quartz through it. Yeah, I want to leave that maple right there for shade. So I got to be a little careful so I can't move that stone or I'll disturb the roots. Have to be a little careful what I'm going to do. So I'm thinking of revising my strategy. I can see where I need to go with the fence now. I don't think, well, I got to get this, I've still got to get the excavator to that far line and then work my way down the line. Fencing is the priority of what I'm doing. Chipping is a byproduct. Cleaning along the fence line will be better, and I can grow some decent forage in that track. Now, if I can come back through here, that'd be great. But I'm really thinking what I need to do, because I mean, there's just thousands of stones, tons and tons of stone. There's probably equipment that could deal with this. And with enough time, I could deal with this. With enough time, and a dump truck or something in here, I could scoop up all these stones, dump them somewhere, sell them, whatever. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be practical this season. So my focus is wood chipping, clearing what I have to take down, trying not to take down anything unnecessary. So only dead, damaged, and dying trees. Safety, things for safety. I mean, there's a pretty big hemlock. I guess that's a maple right there. Pretty big standing dead maple right there. But there's a cluster of good live things around it. I may cut out the balsam fir, and I'll take out that dead, I don't know, it's hard to see. Take out that dead birch and clear up some of that brush stuff. Leave the standing dead. That's a pretty decent one, and looks like there's an owl nest up top. This one's just been hammered away by the woodpeckers. I don't see any sign of anything living in it, but that one has something living in it. So I'll leave that, do the minimum, and then I think maybe my strategy is to grow something here that will leave enough residue to die down, to start to create a biomat over the top of these stones. Because otherwise, I just don't see how this is going to be useful or practical or whatever. And I don't know, this was all cleared. At some point, this was cleared. All of these trees, and stumped, because all of these trees are under 50 years old. So I really would love to see a picture of what this was like. In the 50s, I have a picture from the 50s where you can see clear to the river, and there's not a single tree anywhere around here. It's just not a close enough, detailed enough picture of this field. And I really wish I knew what happened here, why all these stones are everywhere. Was this just a glacial mess? Did all this happen from glacial till, or was it spill over from the rocks? Were there rock walls here that got pummeled and spread out? It just doesn't make sense how many stones there are here. So anyway, I've got to come up with a better strategy, a little faster strategy, maybe pare back my expectations a little bit. I think that this will produce, something, forage, edible. And the cows have certainly been in here and walked around, and it's been pretty bad because there's been stuff for them to have to climb over and everything. So I know the stones aren't a horrible impediment to them. I do want to move and get rid of the big ones or anything that's sharp or on edge that's sticking up. And then if I can just create a biomat over the top that'll keep growing stuff, and I don't know. I just know that I need to get this to be productive. Now, some of this may be my own fault, because we did run the pigs in here for 3 times over the last 10 years. We ran them here 3 times, and the last time we left them in here too long. They were in here between the top, the bottom, and the middle. They were in here for a full year almost. And I honestly don't remember what it was like before they came in here, because this was one of the reasons we locked the pigs in here for a year. Was there was so much dense brush, so much undercover, that you just couldn't walk through here. It was impenetrable with briars and invasives, barberry and honeysuckle, barberry, Rosa rugosa was all through here. And so the pigs did a lot of rooting a lot of that up, and I went through with my hand mulcher and mulched, chipped. I've been through here several times cutting with the brush cutter and the hand, the mulching blade on the brush cutter. So I have done quite a bit of work here. But now, did the pigs being in here for so long root up the topsoil, loosen it, and did it all wash down the hill, exposing all of these stones? That may be some of the issue. In which case, I've got to figure a way of fixing that, because I need to get certainly the roots, the exposed roots are probably pig damage. And that's another reason why we're not going to run as many pigs, or maybe any pigs, going forward, because we need to leave the land in better condition. But yeah, if I need to grow something that will create biomass on top here, and for right now, I mean, I've got to also make it so that I can get in here, maybe with something like a manure spreader or something to fix this, or to be able to, add more nutrients. But maybe a thick biomatting ground cover that will just, put a lot of, problem with putting this soil is pretty rich. It's good in pH. It's high in nitrogen. It's, it's got a lot of cow manure and pig manure over the years has been in it. So it does produce. Maybe it was a fact of the light. There wasn't enough light getting in here before. Certainly these, I've cut them down, but this brushy, alder, swamp alder, certainly cuts down the light. And previously, now I've cut tons of it down and chipped it this winter. Certainly the cows eat it, and the first time through, once the cows eat some of it and clear it and open it, it allows a little more light in here. And now with these trees removed and a few more I'll take out, I'm debating. That's quite a bad leaning maple, but I think I'll leave it. I need to just focus time-wise right now, focus on the trees that would impact the fence line. Oh, I've left my chainsaw behind. Now I need to focus on the trees that impact the fence line and the dead, dying, and damaged trees. Leave anything healthy, leave anything that I don't need to mess with, leave anything that, if it does fall over the winter. Now see that one? The one I'm going to leave, the habitat tree, and this standing weird one, it's budding out, so it's alive enough to last the summer. So I'm not too worried about it breaking and falling if the cows were in here, and if there was a storm or something, I just pull them out of here. This is only the top quarter of the field that I've been working, so I need to figure out how to quickly make this happen so that I can get to the rest of the field. Oh, it's a miserable, windy day. I had to jury rig my diesel pump in order to get it to pump, so I can fill Gidget. because not only do I got to try and come up with some bedding for the barn right now, but also tomorrow I'm hoping to get back to chipping. It's Friday afternoon now, and it's blowing a gale, and the temperature's plummeting. It's going to be in the teens tonight. So figured I'd fuel this up, get that going. Turns out the switch and the circuit breaker or fuse for the thing were blown or corroded, heavily corroded. So I'm hoping I just bypassed it, hooked it direct to the battery. Yeah, this stuff looks pretty bad. That corrosion there, probably. Oh, and one of the terminals broke off. So I'm gonna have to look those up and see what parts they are, and I can get them and replace it, get this thing put back together ASAP. Now that we have it full of liquid gold, as it were, yeah, I gotta use it. Now, I probably spent too much on this diesel. I know I should have got it the week before when the war broke out, but I waited a week, and it was $5.40 a gallon delivered, red diesel here. I could have bought it cheaper at the pump in town. I just didn't have a way of carrying all that fuel home. So here we are anyway. Paid way too much for it. Try and conserve it as much as possible. I got half a tank in the skid steer. I'm gonna fill it up. It's Saturday, just a little afternoon. I'm back at it down here. I'm just about to get the tractor warmed up. I'm gonna chip this little pile of brush here and then see if I can't move to that last place I was over there with the tractor and set up the chip there. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I can get there. I should be able to. Gotta pull that honeysuckle out of the way while the tractor's warming up. I may have to take the excavator back and around to move a couple things out of the way. I don't really feel like driving the tractor over, but we'll see what happens. If I can just go down there, then I can back in right to where I need to be. I need this bucket of wood chip. It rained again last night, so it's dumping chip in there in that area. The cows have to cross between the barn and the parlor, really helping keeping them clean, but I need another bucket now, so gonna get back to cleaning this stuff up. Well, the excavator won't start. The battery pack was only about 75%. It was 18 degrees overnight last night. Just getting this ready. I gotta take it back up to the barn and charge it. It was 18 last night. I think it's probably sitting at about 28 degrees right now at noon. It's a bullshit cold day. Yeah, I guess I was dreaming if I thought I could get this excavator started on a morning like this, a day like this. It had been up in the 40s for a couple days. But then it rained. What did I do yesterday? I don't know. I didn't get to do anything yesterday, Friday. Ran errands. Oh, I did. I fixed. I guess I didn't show you this, did I? Yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I fixed a pig fountain to the fence so the pigs have water. Now that it's not, well, it was sort of frozen, but the volume of water, it's a 50-gallon barrel, so it's not going to freeze solid overnight, even at 18 degrees. So now that we're warmer, I fixed it so that they got their pig fountain. So there's a nipple on it that they can drink out of. So I got that going yesterday. That took a little bit of effort. And seemed like I repaired something. What did I do? I did that. Oh, yeah, I worked on the diesel pump. That's what I did. Got that going so I could pump diesel, because the excavator, I just put 5 gallons in the excavator. I just put 5 gallons in the tractor down here. So yeah, I did small stuff yesterday. I haven't been back here since whenever the last time I filmed down here. And so without the excavator going, I got to change my plans. Fortunately, I have a pile of brush down there already, one I prepared earlier, a pile of brush that's all ready to chip. So I will go down beyond where I was going to go down, turn around back in there, and then I can chip. Whoa. This tire track is a little deep that I just slid into and almost went over the top of my boots. All right. Battery pack's got to go in the skid steer to be charged. I'm going to get the tractor going again and get this pile of brush chipped. Well, I got down in here with the tractor, and it shouldn't be too bad to get out of here. Take it slow, and it may dry up by the time I'm ready to get the tractor out of here. I don't want to leave it much longer than this week, though. If I can't get the majority of this cleaned up this week, I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't really looked ahead to the actual forecast. I've just been kind of monitoring temperatures because of stuff that I have to do up there. But I've got enough here. I should be able to finish the bucket that I'm working on and also chip another bucket and get the cows bedded before milking, unless I hit a problem. Now, it is a little greasy in here. We'll see how the skid steer does. Tractor made it in okay. I didn't make any ruts or anything, but the ground is soft and uneven. And I have to cross a muddy patch up here. So it just depends on what this muddy patch is like, getting in and getting out. I can always go around the bottom of the pond. That risks wrecking some grass. Here, at least, if I can get away with it. I know I can get down. I don't know if I can get back, down and back twice. But ready to give it a shot. Yeah, and that pile I had earlier, that's about all the chip it made. So, put together another 2/3 of a bucket, go dump it in the barn, come back, and make this work. That's the plan anyway. Oh, let's see if I can get down here without issue. I don't like to use this wide blade for any kind of dirt work or shoveling because it's not, well, it is heavy duty. It's still not a dirt bucket, and it's awful wide. It would bend. And as expensive as it was, it's even more expensive now. And I need it too much for wood chip, clearing snow, light stuff like it's built for. So I hope I don't have to scoop anything out of the way in order to get the skid steer out of here. And I hope I don't have to dump a bucket of chip if I get stuck. Sometimes that stuff happens. But let's get in here. I got a lot more dead trees to knock down. Looking at it from this perspective, I can see I need to get that. I need to be able to get that excavator started. I'm not going to be able to work on anything down here tomorrow, Sunday. Private fondue party in the barn, and it'll be all we can do to get done with milking and get set up for that in the morning, and get set up for evening milking right after the fondue party. So I don't think I'm gonna find any time to get down here. If I do have any kind of work I can do, I'll do it up there, because it'll be short stuff I can take care of. Also, a nap would be nice sometime of an afternoon. Not today. All right, let's get chipping.